guys, what in the actual hell is going on? The big beautiful bill just passed, and let me tell you, people are not just mad, they are fuming like real outrage everywhere. Meanwhile, the Republicans were in that room dancing like they just won a Grammy, full celebration mood, while regular folks are out here wondering how they are going to survive without health insurance, food support, or basic care. I'm Macy. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, like the video, and let's get into what people are saying about this madness.
House Republicans just voted in favor of Donald Trump's big ugly bill, which ruins millions of lives, and they danced after doing it. Danced. Take a look. Look, these are all these cowardly, spineless people. Look at him. Look at him dancing. Oh, they love it. Oh, they're all clapping. They're getting together. They really enjoy themselves. They're having a great time. Look. Now, reminder, this bill kicks 12 to 16 million low-income, hardworking Americans off of their health insurance. It's the largest cut in history to food assistance, again, for low-income, hungry Americans, among a number of other things, including closing a bunch of hospitals and nursing homes around the country. And Republicans dance. They dance. When that bill gets passed, they dance, they celebrate, they clap, they high-five. They think it's funny. They think it's funny. As I said yesterday, it'll never be these Republicans who feel the pain of their actions. It won't be them going hungry. It won't be them stuck with a $60,000 hospital bill. It won't be their parent who gets kicked out of a nursing home. It's an absolute disgrace that these Republicans who dance as people lose their crucial programs have any power. It's a disgrace that they're in office.
So the bill passed, and I just want everybody to commit the faces in this picture to memory. Every single one of these people danced and cheered when the bill passed. They danced and cheered. Now, I'm not here for a kumbaya. I'm not here to say, oh, let's all band together, and you can't blame people or point fingers at people, because yes, you can. Every single one of those Republicans who danced as they took away health care from millions of people. They danced as they took food from children's mouths. They danced as they gave the largest gang in history, ICE, more power than ever. They danced. They danced as you are going to suffer. They danced as the people in your life who have cancer, who will not be able to keep their health insurance. They danced as your elderly people and people living in assisted living facilities are going to lose their place to live and coverage to pay for their health care. They danced. Keep that in mind. They danced. And there's video of it. They danced. They were happy. So I am going to point fingers. I am not going to come out here and say it's time for unity with the people who voted for this. None of that is going to come for me, because at the end of the day, remember, they danced.
That's over $900 billion in Medicaid cuts. SNAP is being cut. Student loans, Pell Grants, harder to get. ICE is about to be the biggest law enforcement group in the country. ICE. There's $100 trillion going to the defense, and the 1% is about to live their best life like they've been doing this whole time. Hospitals are about to start shutting down, which some of them have already prepared to start shutting down. It's going to be harder for a lot of people now. A lot of people are about to die. And that's not even a joke. And it makes me sad, because a lot of y'all MAGA people, y'all voted for this man because he was a white man. And he had how many felonies and how many failed businesses, but it didn't matter. Because I would rather vote for the white man who has no experience and is not here for the whole American body than vote for a black woman who's had the experience her whole life and actually wanted us to do better. Wanted better for America. And for all the Republicans, y'all spineless POSs, Y'all, I hope y'all get unseated. I really do. But for everybody else, we tried. We did the best we could. We did the best we could. Primaries is what's next. I'm taking a break. I need a break from this app. I need a break from everything. Because I feel like November all over again when Republicans were saying that, oh, Project 2025 isn't real. It's not real. It doesn't exist. And then turn around and after he won, it's real. And now they're saying, oh, we are touching Medicaid. Now they admit it after they passed the bill. So y'all dummies, y'all fell for it again. Congratulations, y'all screwed all of America.
Hey, Anthony.
Yeah.
Did you see that the budget bill passed?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Well, a phrase that I keep hearing about the Trump administration's actions is that the cruelty is the point. And I think that this bill is a perfect example of that. It's a bill that claims to be helping poor people and low-income families by cutting taxes on their income, while in reality it's moving crucial benefits from those people in order to shift wealth to the ultra-rich.
Who's going to be impacted by this the most?
Low and middle income households for sure. At biggest risk is anybody receiving Medicaid benefits. Nearly 1 in 7 current Medicaid beneficiaries could be losing those benefits because of new work requirements that are being imposed by the Trump administration. While the Republican Party likes to describe Medicaid beneficiaries as, lazy and unmotivated, the truth is that many of them are disabled and unable to work because of their disabilities. They might be veterans. A lot of them are elderly people. These are people that, rather than being able to work to meet these benefits, may simply just die because they can't receive critical health care. We're also looking at potentially another 8 million people that could be losing access to food assistance through the form of SNAP benefits because of, again, work requirements that are being placed on those benefits. And many of those people are children. So we're using the lives of the disabled, of the elderly, of the poor, of children to fund tax cuts for the rich, increase military spending that is completely unnecessary, and to fund what's basically a terror campaign against immigrants in this country. And then on top of those lives that are threatened by the loss of benefits, there's a number of other terrible changes in the bill that are also likely to disproportionately affect poor people. Critical among them is cuts to the green energy industry that, when you combine them with the effects of recent executive orders, such as the removal of hurricane monitoring from public access, could lead to millions of lives being lost because of global warming incidents like hurricanes and tornadoes in the upcoming years. So we're really just using the lives of millions and millions and millions of poor Americans, many of which live in GOP states and may have even voted for the representatives that supported this bill, to further increase the wealth gap in this country. And the Republicans in Congress are laughing about it. Cruelty is the point.
What can people do to stop this?
I think the best thing going forward at this point is honestly a general strike. Unfortunately, I think the only party that's really capable of organizing a general strike is the Democratic leadership itself. Something like a general strike requires so much funding and organizational capacity that I don't really see any other organization, especially grassroots organization, able to do so. Whether the Democratic leadership has the will and resolve to do that, I don't know. But for the average person in the U.S., I think the best thing to do is to push your senators and representatives to call for a general strike at this point.
So now that the big bullshit bill just passed, what is everyone else doing to avoid crashing out? Because I know I just woke up from a 3-hour depression nap and made myself some, microwave pizza, because I actually have zero energy. I felt like all of the energy inside me just completely rushed out, and I can do nothing other than sit here just staring blankly at a wall and possibly napping. So let me know what you did today.
To the dumb fucks in our Congress that call themselves Republicans, that call themselves representatives of the people, let me fucking tell you something. Now that the rules has passed for this big, beautiful bill and the main vote will be commencing, You cannot blame the fucking Democrats when your constituents' lives are fucking ruined. You guys are already gearing up for that. That's why the first slew of effects are going to take place after the 2026 midterms, so that when Democrats take back majority, because you know it's going to fucking happen with how much of a blunder this fucking administration has been, when the Democrats take back control, you can be like, oh, well, look, they have control and all these things are wrong, even though this is the catalyst for that shit. And then the next slew is going to take place after the 2028 presidential election when the new Democratic president is inaugurated. You guys can do the same shit that you did to fucking Joe Biden. He brought the United States economy #1 in the fucking world post-COVID after Donald Trump absolutely blundered it in every way possible. Joe Biden still got blamed for that when he did everything that he could to make sure that we got back. He still was blamed for the dumb shit that Donald Trump and the Republicans did. That's what they're gearing up to do again. Even if it's only me doing it, we're not spreading that fucking lie again. Because right now we are witnessing the cuts that are within this bill. I have my notes of cuts right here in front of me. The cuts are disgusting. You're not blaming that shit on anybody else but your fucking self. People like Lisa Murkowski who vote yes and then open their mouth saying, oh, well, it's not ready. I hope it gets sent back. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck the Republicans. Fuck Donald Trump. And I swear, as soon as they start opening their fucking mouths trying to blame this on the Democrats, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit. I swear I'm gonna lose it. Because this is so fucking disgusting. It is so disgusting. This bill is disgusting as fuck.
Breaking news, Donald Trump's big ugly bill has passed Congress and will be signed into law by Trump any moment now. This bill is being described as the worst piece of legislation that has ever passed through the American Congress and the most expensive bill that has ever been signed into law. This bill is estimated to cost $4 trillion, so everybody that supports Trump because you were sold the lie he'd be good for the debt, guess what? You're wrong. And this bill is also expected to cut healthcare benefits for millions of Americans, food stamps or SNAP benefits for millions of Americans, and student aid for millions of college students. Not to mention, it rolls back a lot of the clean energy subsidies passed by the Biden-Harris administration, which is expected to increase the price of your energy by around $400 per year per household. And according to estimates from the University of Pennsylvania, if you make around or under $51,000 per year, which is roughly the average American, you'll be paying more in taxes. This bill is going to have devastating effects on America. In fact, it may be what finally pushes us over the edge and ensures that the next generation will have a lower quality of life than the generation before them. It's an awfully sad day for America, but that's all for now. I'll keep you guys posted.
We're fucked. There's really no other way to say it. The one big bucket of bullshit bill has passed the House today, Thursday, July 3rd, and President Trump gets his wish. He's going to be able to sign this devastating piece of legislation by July 4th. And if you disagree with me because you don't like my politics, you really need to rethink things. When we look over time at the impact of legislation like this, the bottom 95% of Americans continue to be harmed, while the top 5% continue to benefit. So you and me, if you're watching this video, whether we voted for the same person or not, we are in the same boat. And you keep punching holes in that boat because you want to protect billionaires. This ain't about emotions. This ain't about me being a crazy woman. This is about math. So look at the wealth redistribution that has happened in the United States since 1989. In 1989, the top 1% had 22% of the wealth. Today, they have over 30%, and meanwhile, the bottom 50%, their wealth has declined. These kind of tax policies is wealth redistribution from the bottom to the top. The Bush tax cuts in 2003, our revenue to GDP ratio has dropped significantly, and that has a huge impact on whether or not the United States can pay for essential things like Social Security and health coverage. 2017 tax cuts, the corporate tax cut that President Trump promised was going to raise everyone's annual household income, surprise, surprise, it did not. Regular working Americans saw zero increase in their net household income since 2017, but salaries of executives soared. They got huge raises as a result of these corporate tax cuts. Regular working Americans got nothing because trickle-down economics doesn't work, y'all. This bill will be devastating for 95% of us for decades to come. And everybody has to keep in mind that the real consequences, the real negative impacts of this kind of legislation, it takes years for us to really feel it. And Republicans are counting on you having a really short memory. Don't forget what they just did to you. And they just voted to take away health, food, and education assistance, among a bunch of other things, away from 95% of us so they could give the top 5% more money.
Well, it's fucking time. It's fucking time. If it was ever time for the people's fucking sick day or a general strike, it's right fucking now. If your energy or your time or your money goes to benefit a billionaire, you keep it. If it goes to benefit this administration, you keep it. We're gonna start having boundaries, okay? Acting like sovereign citizens. No taxation without representation, motherfucker. There are more of us than them. They need us to survive, not the other way around. If we actually put all our money into helping each other, we could take care of that shit. We just need to stop giving it to them. And the only way to take their power away is to keep our fucking power. And if every single person that showed up to those marches did that, if everybody who also wanted to go to those marches and didn't or couldn't did that, we would bring the system down to its goddamn knees. It's about putting ourselves in a position to start making some goddamn demands. We know the only thing they want, the only thing that motivates them, so let's fucking motivate them. Happy fucking Independence Day. I'm declaring independence from this goddamn country and this goddamn system. Fuck you guys.
So the big beautiful bill has passed, and what that means is that Medicaid is essentially going to collapse, and we are going to see the loss of hundreds of thousands of jobs for nurses, for doctors, for providers, for CNAs, for mental health workers. We are going to see the collapse of community mental health centers and state hospitals. And yeah, this is just kind of my video to say, like, there are going to be consequences. And while everyone can celebrate and say, yes, USA, what a fucking shame this country is. It like makes me so sad, because it's like, what a shame that we just don't care about people, and that people are celebrating that people are going to struggle. So I don't know. I just want to give up on humanity sometimes, because this is just really terrible, dude. And if you are blessed enough to not worry about how this will affect you or your family, then good for you, but it's going to affect a lot of people.
Hey, do you think 9/11 was bad? Well, this big, beautiful bill is going to cost 50,000 American people their life every year. That's 17 9/11s. So own the libs as much as you want, but you don't have health care anymore.
Well, they passed the bill, just like we knew they would. And I just have to take a moment to say I have spent my entire life listening to every single Republican I know in my extended family, in my community, and in my many red state workplaces complain that the national debt would be our undoing. And through gritted teeth, they seemed to lament that we would have to come after entitlement programs if we wanted to save ourselves. Because yes, it is true that Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security make up over half of our federal spending. And even though these programs pay for themselves through a healthy and secure society, the kinds of people who can artificially reduce health and happiness to line items on a budget cannot resist the urge to circle those alleged costs as targets for cuts. Like the clueless and ignorant CEO who thinks he can cut pay and benefits without reducing employee happiness or productivity. These people actually believe that federal revenue won't be harmed by ripping healthcare and food support away from 10 to 15 million workers and consumers. And now here we are, after 50 fucking years of listening to them cry about how expensive it is to take care of our citizens, they get their wish and they cut $1 trillion fucking dollars from Medicaid. Also, they can put those entitlement cuts toward the national debt, right? Right? Fuck no. They took $1 trillion worth of food and healthcare from poor people, and they borrowed another $2.3 trillion on top of that. And they gave it all to the ultra wealthy through tax cuts. Same wealthy people who, over that exact same 50 years of crying, saw their income increase by as much as 420%, while the rest of us broke even at best or backslid into poverty at worst. Fact is, across every single facet of life, religion, politics, economics, culture, and crime, the Republican Party you know today is nothing more than the party of debt, poverty, cruelty, and above all else, hypocrisy.
I don't even know what to say again. Like, this isn't just politics, this is people's life we are talking about here. Like, the governments are literally telling poor people, sick people, and working families, you are on your own, stripping healthcare, food assistance, cutting programs that actually help people survive. And to make things worse, they were laughing and dancing like they did something great. Like, what's great about watching people suffer? What happens to single mother who depends on Medicaid, or the elderly man who can't afford his insulin? I don't know about you, but I am tired. Tired of seeing the same people always left behind while others celebrate. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Are you as mad as I am? And don't forget to like, share this video. I'm Mercy, and I'll see you in the next one.